We got London on the track.
100 been dropped on the head of any nigga wanted, man. Pop me a Zanny, I'm fast, I'm so fast, I'm so faster than Sunny, man. True to man, true to man, true to my nigga, true religion, Buddha, man. My money stay tall as Ludacris, I throw and I swear I'ma shoot with it. I just hit for 9 birds, what I'ma do with that? Pull up on the curb, then you hop out and be through with that. I'm so fresh like this detergent, if you not fresh, you so through with that. If you are a nerd, everything you not cool with it. Yes, you not cool. No, you not boo. I don't get no damn, I'm not calling you boo. My bitch, she a Jew. You can't prove a point, but you know you so doomed. You know you so doomed. I swear I'm so lost with no clue. Don't know what to do. Hey, overloud. How overloud on these niggas ain't know how to milk these cows. She made that dick roll, now it be like a town. Yeah, but I can't do it with no Bible. 100 been dropped on the head of any nigga wanted, man. Pop me a Zanny, I'm fast, I'm so fast, I'm so faster than Sunny, man. True to man, true to man, true to my nigga, true religion, Buddha, man. My money stay tall as Ludacris, I throw and I swear I'ma shoot with it. I just hit for 9 birds, what I'ma do with that? Pull up on the curb, then you hop out and be through with that. I'm so fresh like this detergent, if you not fresh, you so through with that. If you are a nerd, everything you not cool with it.
Pull up, hop out on the block, they tucking their tail like a Hooter clan. I'm dressed in all black, I'm always on the road just like a Uber man. We rapping and sending them packs, soon as they land, we moving them. Shame it on the OGs, they influence me. Alright, I ain't just make your money, nigga. I ain't just make money, nigga. I put a little stick on the Rari, she say that's delicious. Who that is in that crown, Vic, he looks suspicious. I just took the 100 pounds I made her.
100 been dropped on the head of any nigga wanted, man. Pop me a Zanny, I'm fast, I'm so fast, I'm so faster than Sunny, man. True to man, true to man, true to my nigga, true religion, Buddha, man. My money stay tall as Ludacris, I throw and I swear I'ma shoot with it. I just hit for 9 birds, what I'ma do with that? Pull up on the curb, then you hop out and be through with that. I'm so fresh like this detergent, if you not fresh, you so through with that. If you are a nerd, everything you not cool with it. Yeah, you not cool with that. No, you not cool with that. No, you not cool with that. I can see that bullshit from a mile away. Say it. You can step my mother about a mile away. Stack it. I got 3 white bitches like it's powder day. What? Mink coat with them rolls like a Sharpay. And all of my bitches says they call them Barbies. She looking back like I'm flexing, baby, no way. And lately I've been on
We
that
got
juice.
London on the track. On the track.
Me a chick, I got a chick. Yeah, I done got me a chick, I got a chick. Yeah, I done got me a chick, I got a chick. Yeah, I done got me a chick, I got a chick. Yeah, money on my baby, I got money on my brains. Money in my pants, I got money, I got change. 20, 50, 100, 500 million, man. On a double, streaming, with it, cheap bang. If I need some rats, I'ma flip me some packs. I talk like I want it, she don't say nothing back. If cops pull up, I put that crack in my crack. Or I put that brack in my brack. Call a shorty, made her fuck on my brody. If you don't owe me, bitch, still act like you owe me. I promise I won't ever quit, bitch, I'm Kobe. And I will that white, you can snow me. Snow that young thugger, I whip it, that bitch, that you know me, young thugger. Yeah, she shining like butter, the bitch from Chicago, I call her young Cutler. Leave it to people, I pull up in Billy's with London, they all wanna meet em. Yeah, they all wanna agree, don't need put out their pants and they all wanna read em. No, they won't cheese on that dick, they won't read on that dick, they won't leash on that dick. Don't Felicia that dick, mama see to that dick, they won't snitch on that dick. And she screaming loud, she can't secret that dick. Mama a beast on that dick, if she bad, I'ma go in 4 seasons that bitch. What? Eat that little bitch, I'ma feast that little bitch. me a chick, I got a chick. Yeah, I done got me a chick, I got a chick. Yeah, I done got me a chick, I got a chick. Yeah, I done got me a chick, I got a chick. Yeah. Money on my money, I got money on my brain. Money in my pants, I got money, I gon' change. 20, 50, 100, 500 million, man. Hey, on a double streaming, bleeding, switching back, yeah. Bitch, I'm amigo, I play with Kilo. When I put ice on, I am Sub-Zero. All of my niggas, they hard, call them Beatles. Niggas was facing, I kept me a Ruger and Regal. Dropping the top on the Bentley, I'm with the Birdman, yeah, the Eagle. Eat out my mind, man, I'm chewing out, I don't know none of these people. Let my little shawty go get me a four and bring back me a leader. Yes, I got trust, I'm not worried about that. They know they can get wet, and I swear I done got me a chick, I got a chick. Yeah, I done got me a chick, I got a chick. Yeah, I done got me a chick, I got a chick. Yeah, I done got me a chick, I got a chick. Yeah. Now I'm like, baby, I need rest. Baby, I need rest. Baby, I want rest. Baby, I need rest.
We got London on the track.
Sweet.
What is going on? What's going on? How's everybody doing tonight? Come on in. Make sure you guys hit that like button. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing this evening? All right, let's get going. See a lot of people streaming this evening. What is this? See a lot of people are live streaming on YouTube this evening. And I'm getting texts about some type of World War III. All this stuff is coming. My mother has been here for the past hour or so I've been talking to my OG. I don't know what's really going on. I'm kind of catching up right now. I'm getting text messages. I seen a little stuff going on in the chat, so I'm not really up. Axel was just texting me talking about why are you going live with everything's going on. I'm thinking he's texting. I'm like, what's going on? The only thing that I know that's going on is the whole Drake versus the world shit that's been going on all day. I'm thinking like, damn, what Axel know about Drake? I didn't know that something has broken out. So literally 20 minutes ago, when Axel texted me like, dude, you're going live with everything that's going on right now. I'm like, damn. In my head, I'm like, damn, Axel know about the whole Drake versus the world beef. So I'm not really abreast of what's going on in the world, but I guess it kind of makes sense because my portfolios just took a dump. I was down a little over 30 grand yesterday, and I just looked like I just got hit again, but it looks like it's trying to recover. The markets don't like drama. Whenever there's drama, if you guys remember, or any type of potential news of a disaster or like the day of the pandemic, well, it already hit, but the day Trump made the speech and declared what he declared and the whole country shut down, whatever date that was, like March 13th or March 16th of 2020, the markets took a dump, right? But like I always say, whenever there's blood in the streets, that's an opportunity. That's an opportunity. So, whatever's going on, if we go to war, I'm not really abreast on what's going on. I haven't really looked into it. I guess I can Google it now. News. Let's see what's going on. See what's going on out in these streets. Because I need to see where I can, get some money out of this situation. Somebody put me a link in the chat because I don't know what's going on. What's going on? We going to war or something? Biden inches closer to Trump. That's 8 hours ago. Statement from NSC spokesperson. Somebody excess deaths since the start of COVID year after year. This is by design. Can somebody put a link in the chat so I can look up what's going on? Because I don't want to sit up here and sound ignorant. Let me do a brief deep dive analysis. At Mark, you was up early today. Oh yeah, you saw me on Kirk's live trolling him this morning. I'm up early every day. I get up every day, 3:30, 4 o'clock. Believe it or not, for the past few months, me and Cars and Cribs, we talk every morning about 4 a.m. about the market. So every morning about 4 a.m., me and Cars and Cribs, we talk about different market plays. So I'm up every morning at 3:30, 4 o'clock, whether I got something to do or don't, no matter what time I went to bed. So I was actually on my way to the gym. I said, let me get it out the way early. And I got the notification like 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock, that Kirk was going live. So you know me. I'm like, well, shit. Let me go in here and be nosy. And sure enough, he gets to talking some goofball stuff. So I had to trigger him early in the morning. It was only right. I gotta. If he ain't gonna give me my 5,000, then I gotta get some enjoyment by trolling him whenever I feel like I need the opportunity to. So that's all that was. I was just messing with him for a little bit. That's all. Yeah, but I'm up early every day. Yeah, I didn't know what you was meant by up early. I had to think about it, but I know what you was talking about. Yeah. I was trolling him. But what? Somebody gonna send me a link. Iran bombed Israel back. All right, so Iran bombed Israel. So I guess Biden is sticking his nose in it. See, this is why. All right, so then I guess Monday we gonna load up on Palantir then. It's crazy that this happened over the weekend because that means Monday in the pre-market, all the war stocks is gonna go through the roof. So, but if y'all pay attention though, we look at the crypto market, what's in this crash that's going on right now, what's holding steady? What's holding steady in the crypto market while everything else is tanking? Let's take a look. I bet you real world assets is still strong. I bet you real world assets is strong. Let's take a look. Yep. Real world assets. I ain't gonna name them because I don't want nobody to go and I ain't no financial advisor, but let me go look at another one. All the MGMs that's a part of the finance group, y'all know what it is. All right, look at the two, for everybody that's an MGM, look at the two plays that I told people to get in, the two narratives that I told people to get in. So while it's blood in the streets in the market right now and everything is red, look what's holding strong. And that's excelling with this news of some type of potential World War III. Look what's going up. Real world assets. I'm telling you, if you're not a part of the MGM, and you missing out. When one narrative plays out, when one bubble bursts, there's always another narrative. There's always another opportunity. It's about staying ahead of the curve, staying in the know. So you know where to put your money, where to move your money to. It's just like the Vox Truck business. You got to keep that money moving, keep that money moving, keep that money moving. If something's not working, you got to keep that money moving. You need to know what's a sinking ship, what's a falling knife prior to it starts to fall so that you can get out of that play and transition yourself into something else for that run up. It is what it is. Where's Bitcoin at? Hold on a second. Let's see what Bitcoin is at. Bitcoin ain't even recovered. It's trying to recover, but it's still in the red. All the real world assets is in the green. The real world assets is actually benefiting from this bad news. And remember, that's what we transitioned into, guys. So congratulations. Congratulations. That's going to balance your portfolio out. So the other assets that you're in that aren't RWAs that are in the red, because the RWAs are in the green and they're excelling because of this bad news, it's balancing your portfolio out. That is the importance of diversification. That's why you diversify. And then Monday, when the stock market open, we'll just buy a bunch of war stocks, I guess. Giorgio says everything in the crypto market follow Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the leader and the godfather of the crypto market. But if you pay attention over the past few cycles, altcoins are slowly pulling away. I mean, you can go look today. Bitcoin is in the red. There's a bombing overseas. What's in the green? RWAs. So in the olden days, if Bitcoin takes a dump like it did today, everything takes a dump. Nothing would be in the green. But if you look at the RWAs, if you are familiar with the RWAs, they're in the green. They took a dump earlier when Bitcoin was taking a dump, but whenever this news broke out, you see RWAs go straight up. You see vertical green lines for RWAs. I'm not going to name them. All right. Look at the RWAs. For all those members, look at the RWAs. Whenever this news broke out, the RWAs took off. All right. The main two that I tell people to look into, the two that I'm invested in, look at them. Now look at the RWAs and then look at a layer one. Let's look at a layer one like Solana. Look at let's look at an AI narrative. Everything else is trying to bounce back, but the RWAs are running. All right. 10 to 15 year tops, but things will just get worse here on out. Got to put the pieces together to see the picture. I don't know what y'all talking about. Got the pieces together. Excess death since the start of COVID, year after year. This is by design. I think we kind of talked about that last night. We didn't go that deep, but we got to get this talking in before Axel come in here. You know, all these military guys, they love this type of talk. Mark, they launched a two-phase attack, drones and ballistic missiles. Jonathan is another military person. You could tell from the thumbnail, the default pick. Iran said they done as long as Israel doesn't retaliate, and they no NATO forces step in. So Iran said they done as long as Israel doesn't retaliate and no NATO forces step in. However, our Air Force has taken out drones. So it looks like we're responding. We're standing tall next to Israel. So we responded. It looked like it's going to continue to go on. Iran said they done. The two phases are to trip the Iron Dome, confuse with one phase, and pierce with the second. Yeah, see all that war talk. See, you've been in the military, so you using terminology that I'm just I'm just not familiar with it, man. See, you and Axel will have a great dialogue on something like this. I hear what you're saying. Out of everything you said, the parts I get that is Iran bombed Israel and said, listen, we done. We straight. Chill out. Don't if just take it. Take this L. Take this L. Hold this L. We done. Don't get up. Don't get up. It's just like if me and Kirk did the boxing match, you know what I'm saying? And I, hit him with that one-hitter quitter and hit him right square that smack dab in the chin. And he trying to get up, man. Stay down. Stay down. Don't get up. That's what basically what you saying that they saying. But Big Bad Biden want to step in, and he want to flex his nuts and stand tall with Israel, and we retaliated for Israel, and we took out some of their drones. That's what I take from what you said. Yeah, Bitcoin is gonna have its last gas, then disappear, then everything starts moving on its own. Well, here's Bitcoin. Bitcoin is almost, the supply is almost ran out. It's 20 million in circulation, so it's less than 1 million left to buy. We see Grayscale, BlackRock, Michael Saylor, ARK Invest, all these big um, institutions with shit, BlackRock, trillions of dollars, trillions of asset under management, are constantly 7 days a week buying Bitcoin. They're actually buying the total supply of what's being mined daily, every single day, 7 days a week. So, and this is just my thoughts, what's going on. I think maybe today's Black Swan event and yesterday's may have something to do with what's going on in the world as far as this Iran and Israel situation, or it could be some manipulation. I mean, they're will so they can move the market, they can drive down the market so that they accumulate more of the supply at a cheaper cost. Drive down the market, put fear into the market, get people to sell. A lot of people got liquidated yesterday. A lot of people got liquidated today. I know a buddy who lost 6 Solana today that he put up as a collateral for a USD loan, and he got liquidated. A lot of people loan out their Bitcoin, use their Bitcoin for collateral for money, you know what I'm saying, for actual fiat, and they got liquidated. So now when people get scared and they sell because they don't want to lose their money, people get liquidated. The institutions like BlackRock, Grayscale can suck up that supply at a cheaper cost. I think that has something to do with it too. You know what I'm saying? I think with the supply being very low, once the big institutions suck up all the supply, that's going to really drive the price higher because now it's really going to be scarce. So, and we're almost to that point. It's less than 1 million out there supply available. More than half of the insect population has gone extinct. Biden in the meeting right now, probably going to address the nation. Israel killed an Iranian general, so Iran bombed back. I always look back at the chart how the market was looking last year around this time in the market, because history repeats itself. The market was bad last year because we're in a bear market. Last year was a great time to accumulate. Everything was a lot cheaper last year because we were in a bear market. True said we should have stayed out of it. I think we should stay out of a lot of stuff that ain't our business, but who am I? I wish the president could stay out of other countries' business and leave them alone. Exactly. And the reason why they launched the 2 phases to have their defense systems occupied with the drones and hit the targets with the ballistic missiles. When supply run out, price is going to skyrocket. The more supply, price stays lower. Right. So, and the supply is almost out. And that's why, like I said, BlackRock, and this is every day, miners are mining Bitcoin every day. And obviously the halving is coming up, which is going to cut the supply in half of what miners can mine every day. So far, there's 20 million in circulation for Bitcoin. The supply is 21. The total supply is 21 million. And there is already 20 million circulated supply. Well, it's less now because a lot of people got liquidated. So it was 20 million the other day. It's 19.6 million in circulating supply now. So more went out because a lot of people lost their Bitcoin, sold their Bitcoin. So it's 19.6 million circulating supply. Obviously, total supply is 21 million. So it's about 1.4 million Bitcoin available. So basically what happened, people got liquidated, people sold because they got scared. They put more supply out there for the big institutions to buy at a cheaper cost. And they're going to buy it. I wouldn't be surprised if the market kind of recovers Monday or Tuesday. Kelvin, unfortunately, we can't. Being a part of NATO brings us into everything. But yes, as someone who has been involved personally, I wish we would avoid all this nonsense. Got to be careful with anything under the ETH network that has gas fees. I try not to buy anything that's ETH, but if it's something that I do that's built on Ethereum layer 1, then I leave it in the exchange because I don't want to pay gas fees unless I absolutely have to. What's going on, Ken Hu? What's going on? Big whales are buying and dumping quick, and they will keep repeating the cycle. Yep. So yeah, they move the market. They can buy it 64,000 right now. They can continue to buy, run it up to let's say 70,000. Right as they buy. It's pushing the price up. Then they can sell it at 70,000 for a profit. The market tanks. Right. That puts fear, uncertainty, and doubt into retail investors who don't have long pockets like the institutions. The market tanks. Retail investors sell. The price goes down, and then they go back, take their profits, put their profits to the side, and then put back that initial investment and buy cheaper. And now they have more supply that's on the market, which is retail supply, and they buy all that up. What they're basically trying to do is take up all the supply. So that's going to push the price up. If the more of the more retail holdings they can get, the better, right? So if you're holding on to a Bitcoin, it's best not to sell it. It's best to hold on to it because once the institutions suck up majority of the supply, it's really going to be out of reach for a retail investor to get a hold of one. It's going to be well over 100 grand. We're going to go over 100 grand this cycle easy. We hit 73 a week or two ago prior to the halving. Once this bull run really gets going, we touch 100. We'll probably touch somewhere between 100 and 140 this cycle. And the thing is we may not have an 85% retracement like we've seen in other cycles, right? Other cycles, institutions weren't involved. It was just all retail, right? So a retail investor, you buy something for $3,000, it goes to $10,000, right? You take your $7,000 investment, everybody's taking their $7,000 profit, right? It tanks 85%. Right? It sits like that for 2 years until the next cycle, and interest comes back and it goes up and it hits a new all-time high, and then the cycle repeats every 4 years. But now with retail investment in companies like BlackRock and Grayscale that have trillions of assets under management, trillions of dollars under management, they're buying billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin every single day, and I'm not exaggerating. Whatever the total supply that's being mined every day, they're sucking it up. They want to control majority. All right. They're not going to, obviously, Satoshi, the creator of Bitcoin, has the most supply. He's the richest person in Bitcoin, but no one knows who he is. That could be the government for all we know. Satoshi Nakamoto could be the CIA for all we know. A mythical person named Satoshi Nakamoto creates Bitcoin. No one knows who this person is back in 2009, creates it, and it turns into what we have now where you can turn it in for cash and the government allows you to do it. So, obviously that wallet, Satoshi Nakamoto, whoever it is, if it's even a person, right, has obviously the biggest wallet for Bitcoin, and that wallet has been dormant since 2009. That wallet has had one movement, and that was back in 2020. Some Bitcoin was moved out of that wallet. Other than that, that wallet has been dormant since 2009. So me personally, I don't think it's a person. I think it's the government. I think Bitcoin was created by the government. I think Bitcoin was created by the government. So that's my personal opinion. I just don't see the government allowing digital money to be created and I can buy something that's not tangible on a site, buy it on the site, sell it back to the site, and then whatever my profit is or whatever my loss is, let's say my profit, I can sell it back to the site and then I can hit a button and it'll transfer it to my bank account and I can withdraw it from my bank account. Right? I don't see the government allowing any, you know, body to do that and just let it ride like that. But for some strange reason, this Bitcoin was created and it was never challenged. They challenged XRP. They've challenged what's the company they went to challenge the other day? The exchange. Obviously, FTX. He was doing some fraud, but there's a war against digital currency, and they're going after each company. They've already tried to kind of go after Coinbase, but Coinbase is a publicly traded company, but they've never went against Bitcoin. So I look at it like this. You're going against everybody else, but you're not going against Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is what started it all. So that's like almost like protecting it even further. You know, Bitcoin is a storage of wealth. It's like the only assets, the only asset that's beating the rate of inflation. Nothing performs like Bitcoin. If you would have bought a Bitcoin the day Trump announced whatever COVID was and everything got shut down, whatever day that was, March 16th, 2020, Bitcoin from where it was, I think it was at $7,000, $8,000 or $9,000 that day prior. It tanked at $3,000, right? Today, and today is a black swan event. Bitcoin went down about 6 or 7 grand today. It tanked. All right. It's trying to come back up. It's at 64,000 now. So you bought something for $3,000 in 2020 that's worth 64,000 today. A week ago it was worth like 73,000. So in 4 years, something grew $70,000 in value. Forget the cycles, forget the up and down, the bull market, the bear market. If you just look at what you would have bought March of 2020 to March of 2024, it went up $70,000 in value. What other asset scales like that? By the end of this year, it'll be over $100,000. The lowest it's been within the past 12 months was 25,000. So even if you bought it within the past 12 months at 20,000, it hit 73,000 a week ago. So let's round that up to 75. So within the past 12 months, if you'd have bought in at 25, that 25 would have made you 50. So me personally, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I like to think, and I just don't think a mythical character named Satoshi Nakamoto, even the name sounds comical, right? I don't think a mythical character named Satoshi Nakamoto coded this and built this, and the government isn't looking for this person. This person isn't on the FBI's most wanted list. It doesn't, like I like to use my common sense. No one's going to dive deep into who or what really started it when they're making money from it, right? I think this is something that the government controls, and quiet is kept. The government owns Bitcoin. They buy Bitcoin, they sell Bitcoin, they trade Bitcoin, they convert Bitcoin. And I believe the government is Satoshi Nakamoto. When they want people to get rich, they'll let you become rich. When they want you to be poor, they'll let you become poor. Every 4 years, they raise the price. If you're smart, you know how to invest, run it up, People are going to get rich, but 90% of the people that come in are going to lose everything. And it's all kept on the blockchain. And it follows you because you keep it on your phone. So it almost serves as possibly another tracking device as well. Who knows? This blockchain technology is deep, and I try to study it as much as possible, but this is really, really complex coding and technology. So those are my thoughts on Bitcoin. I hope I'm here. You know how it is when you get to talking about the CIA and you get to talking about stuff and you could possibly be right, man. You might get one of them visits, man. So if y'all don't see me no more after today, you knew it was because of this conversation we just had. I'm gonna make sure I lock all my doors tonight and sleep with my 40 under the pillow, man. I don't want B613 to come in here on me, man, for spilling the beans. You dig what I'm saying? B613. What show was that? B613. Was that a Scandal? Let's see what I leave off at. If you do real good research and you understand what you're investing into, you would have diamond hands and buy low, position yourself on a low entry. Yeah, so I bought in last year. I started investing into this bull run last year. So even with the yesterday and today, I'm down probably close to maybe 40 grand within the past 2 days. Probably a little less now because I had some good recovery and some RWAs, but then we tanked again today, and I haven't really got a chance to look. But then I bought into some stuff today too, so I'm probably on the road to recovery. So I might not even be down 30. I might be down like 20 something now, but I'm still up on the year. So on the year, I'm up a lot, you know. So that's the key to investing early. You know, you get in early, your average costs are very low. So like Fetch went up to what, 350. My average cost was 27 cents. So even with it going down today less than 2, I'm still up more than 5 figures on it because my average cost was 27 cents because I was buying it less than 20 cents. I was buying it for pennies on the dollar. So you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Never pay attention to what they say. Always pay attention to what they do. Exactly. Never pay attention to what they say. Always pay attention to what they do. It's exactly what I was talking about earlier in the members only. You know, following the money. I mean, BlackRock, Grayscale. You can go look on their website to see what they're investing in. BlackRock has the most assets under management. Right, trillions. Just go see what they're investing in. When you see something removed from their portfolio, that means they divested from it. That means you might want to divest from it. Why? Because I'm sure they have billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars. And when then they go to remove that, guess what? That asset value is going to go down. So you might want to monitor their site every single day because that's what I do. I follow the money. I follow the money. Like, this shit is real simple. And I don't understand why people don't get it. Like, that show last night, I had a lot of people hit me up about that show. Because that show yesterday, out of all the shows I've done, you know, I come on here, I do the character thing. It's all from good fun. It just makes the education a little bit more entertaining. You know, I don't mean nothing by it. But yesterday, it's like the faces, people were really upset with what I was telling them. And I never really get that. I got it yesterday. And a lot of people noticed it. I got DMs. People hit me up. And I just don't understand why people just don't understand this shit can really be simple. The reason why people fail is because they make it hard. I'm not that smart in financial investment as I am in trucking, right? So I go to people that are a lot smarter than me, aka BlackRock, aka Larry Fint. Like trillions of dollars under management. These guys are managing pension funds. They're taking people's pension fund money and investing it into things to make more money. These guys know what they're doing. The reason why they're the biggest is because they know what they're doing. So who am I to say, you know what? Nah, I don't know why they investing in that. They tweaking. No, they investing in that. All right, I'm finna go invest in that because they ain't took an L yet. And when they go put money into something, it's going to drive the market up because they're not putting in tools and fuel. They're putting in billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars. So people, oh, generational wealth. And I'm like, you make generational wealth by investing into things that the people that are smarter than you, that are richer than you, invest in. You may not have the money to put in what they put in, but if you follow the narratives that they invest in, you'll win. And as you continue to win, you'll see your money grow. And then as your money grows, you take a little bit of those winnings from that investment, diversify it into something else, and keep winning. Take a little bit of that profit, diversify it into something else, and keep winning. That's it. You just follow the money, man. You just follow the money. So you are absolutely right. You don't pay attention to what they say. You pay attention to what they do because they're going to tell you one thing because they want to spread fear, uncertainty, and doubt. They want you to sell. It's just like I always tell people all the time. Yeah, go ahead, go do some dumb shit. Go spend all your money. Yeah, go buy the car that you can't afford. Yeah, go trick that money off. Yeah, go work all week, get your paycheck. Don't pay your bills. All right. Don't pay your bills, right? Be irresponsible because the little shorty that you've been eyeing for the longest, the little red bone with the green eyes, and then they turn gray in the fall, and then they turn green in the summertime, and she got that wavy hair with that little baby hair that she brushed down. You know what I'm saying? That little red bone you like, and she finally giving you some play, and you know you got to pay your bills, but she said, man, let's get up this weekend. So you going to take your whole check and take her out? Go do that. I prefer you do that. Don't pay your bills. I want you to lose your shit. I want you to lose your shit so I can come buy that shit. And when I be saying that, people be getting so mad, but it's the truth. It's the truth. And they want you to do the same shit. They want you to go out and make dumb decisions. Because on a day like today, when people getting liquidated, and a day like yesterday, when people getting liquidated, because of the fear and the uncertainty and the doubt, because they can't hold on, they just gonna scoop all that shit up and run it up. Now they making it hard for you to get it again. You had something that you didn't know how valuable it was. The house that you living in now, if you was to buy that house today, if you was to buy that house in 1960, you would be shocked how much cheaper it was. I've never seen shit really go back down in value. You have events like the housing market crash and COVID and things like that where you may have a flash. Well, COVID was a flash crash. The housing market was a real bubble. That was a bubble. That was a bubble that burst and there was a correction, right? The COVID crash, that was a flash crash Because if you look at the charts, a month later, everything recovered and you had record all time highs. Obviously, because we were in an inflated market, but it was a flash crash and it recovered. So, what I've been talking about for the past weeks and months, actually, past year or so, yo, get accustomed to the way things are. I was telling people that last year. Well, man, freight waves say second quarter. Second quarter of 2023 and came and went. Third quarter of 2023 came and went. I said you weren't gonna see no peak season, but your favorite content creator said, man, don't listen to that guy. He's not even in trucking. How you listen to the person that's not even trucking? Guess what? It wasn't no peak season. I said, yo, get used to the way things are. Get accustomed to the way things are. If I was a person who lived in the past, I would still be waiting for gas to be 79 cents. My first car I had, gas was 79, 89 cents a gallon. This was in 98. Gas was 89, 79 cents a gallon. It was $1 in the city. All right. I used to drive over to Indiana because I stayed on the southeast side. So the Indiana border was like 10 minutes from my OG crib. I would drive over to the border to save that little 20 cents a gallon. Some days it'd be 89 cents, sometimes it'd be 79 cents a gallon. This is back when diesel was cheaper than regular unleaded. See, some of y'all don't even know that. Some of y'all wasn't driving. Some of y'all was just being born. Where's what's the name that being here said she was born in 97. She probably never seen a time where diesel was cheaper than regular unleaded gas. But back in the day, it was. If I was living in the past and didn't get accustomed to the way things was, I would still be with, man, I can't wait till gas get back to 89 cents a gallon. Man, I'm tired of pulling up to the gas station. And then me, I'll be buying cars that take premium only. Sometimes I'm paying $6 a gallon. I would still be waiting from 1998. Damn near almost going on damn near 30 years. You got to get accustomed to the way things are. You got to find a way to make more money. You got to find a way to survive. I've never seen things go back to the way they were. I don't even think Freight Waves even pushes topics anymore about the market getting better. Because I think they've called it wrong so many times. All you got to do is follow the money. As time goes on, things become more expensive. Shit happens, and we never go back to the way things were. I believe the government created Bitcoin and the SEC is in bed with them. We see eye to eye on that. Nightcrawler speaking facts. 13 or 15 years ago, I remember one Bitcoin was 100. Shit, I remember back when it was fractions. It was less than a dollar. I remember back when it was when it was primarily used to purchase things on the dark web. This is back when the Silk Road was up and operational. That was the first time I heard about it. What y'all said? Read William O'Neill. You saying they found Satoshi Nakamoto? When they find him? They found Satoshi? Satoshi Nakamoto found. When did I miss that? The truth about who founded Bitcoin. The legend of Satoshi Nakamoto, the anonymous Bitcoin founder, is a mystery built for the digital age. His true identity has become myth. In finance and technology. I don't. Is that an article? You gotta send me that article. But there was another guy that they said was him, and then they hold on, here it is. Australian computer scientist is not the Bitcoin creator. Hold on. Hold on. Australian computer scientist is not Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto. High court rules. Judge says evidence for his conclusion that Craig Wright. Yeah, I watched something on him. They interviewed him there when they did the deposition. Did not create Bitcoin is overwhelming. Yeah. Yeah, because I was looking at some of the emails he was sending to some of the other people who was working on helping them work on Bitcoin, some of the other coders back then. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever know. I think honestly it was really created by the government. Jay Stowe says Skynet on me. Gold is starting to take off. Yep, gold and silver is starting to take off. Gold will be the investment of the year along with coffee. You know, it's a coffee convention here in Chicago, and I'm like, damn, this many people came to Chicago for a goddamn coffee convention? It's crazy because I stay like right by the damn convention center, and goddamn, it's like so many where do they make coffee at? Like Hondurians and like people from like South America and stuff like here for that convention. I'm like, man, that's a lot of people. You would have thought it was Comic Con or one of those conventions like where people be dressed up like R2D2 and all that crazy shit. I got an XRP early because I have a family member work for the CEO of Ripple. Yeah, I got an XRP too, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I got out of XRP last week. I 100% exited. I think it's gonna be a stable coin. It's already acting as a stable coin. I've been holding on too long. All that money could be into something that's actually making me money. Not that I don't believe in it, but even after yesterday and today, it's tanked even further. I might as well just take my profit that I have, and if it ever starts to run, then I'll jump back in it. But honestly, I think it's a stable coin. I actually got out of Cardano too. I exited Cardano 100% yesterday. I took all my Cardano and I put it into the RWA sector. So I'm out of Cardano. I think that's a falling knife. True, your parents paid $17K in 1971 for their house. Yeah, my mom paid $59,000 for her house in 1992, and that house is over 200 grand now. So, rich people are pulling the money out of the bank and dumping it into gold right now because whatever the dollar do, gold does the opposite. So we are the people that really drive the market if you invest smart. That's why gold was soaring, the crypto and dollar was sink. Here's the thing. Crypto always goes up and then it goes down. So crypto is going to lose, it's going to tank 85 to 90%. It always does. But like anything else, it's about understanding the market is cyclical, knowing how to invest, when to get in and when to get out. So I agree with you, but then I disagree with you. I agree with you because you're right, but then I kind of disagree with you because there's opportunity there. But you're right. It is going to go down. Yep. That's why Benz and Volkswagen started making diesel cars. I've seen that many times with how cheap diesel used to be. Yeah, diesel was cheap back in the day. Paul said gas $5.50 now. Yeah, I noticed that gas is up there. And wages remain stagnant. Yep. So we talked about that the other day, Nightcrawler. I don't know if you was watching the live stream the other day when we looked at the rate of inflation and the wage rate. We looked at a graph. I wanted to show the graph so people can have a visual of what I be talking about. Maybe I'm saying, you know, sometimes when you put a visual up in people's faces, they kind of tend to it better. Let me see if I can pull that up. Inflation to wage rate graph. Let me see if I can find the one that I use. I found a really good one the other day. But yeah, that's absolutely right. And we talked about it the other day. Actually, here it is. Um, so let's take a look at it again. Um, Actually, let me make it bigger. Uh, all right, so this goes up to 2023. Um, the blue line represents the wage growth. The orange line represents inflation. And if you look, obviously, wage growth has always been higher than inflation. Inflation is low. Obviously, you see this straight vertical line going up because this is 2020. This is the pandemic. And then, obviously, in the midst of the pandemic, when everybody was coming into the box truck business because they were told that this is the best thing going, and you're going to become a gazillionaire, right? Go out and buy you a box truck, which was, it's just I think a lot of people entered wrong and didn't understand what they were entering into at the time, and they didn't plan ahead and didn't understand that they were entering into a bubble, and they got caught left holding the bag because their favorite content creators didn't understand it either. I still listen because I've been cool for the past few months, man. I ain't talking my shit, man. I feel like talking shit. So what did we put up? Did we put up a nickel to debate any content creator? Let's up that to 10 grand. Was it 10 grand before or was it a nickel? Let's up it to 10 grand. I want to debate any content creator in the box truck space on the box truck business and economics. There is a $10,000 wage out there. And we're gonna make sure that I get my 10,000. So we're gonna have to have a mediator hold the money. All right, you got to buy in. You got to put your 10 grand up front. We're gonna have a mediator hold that money. All right, because I want my money. So that's out there. We putting it out there. We putting it out there because when you educate people on something, you got to give them the whole scope of what they getting into. You can't just tell them one thing, take their money, and then they get out here, and then 2 months later, when the market goes kaput, and they come back to you and say, "Man, why you didn't tell me this?" Because they didn't know they self. When you charging somebody for something, you do have some type of moral obligation to somewhat kind of ensure that you're giving the most information so that they can be successful. I'm not going to give a person information, especially if they're buying it, and I come on here and do it for free. And I try to give people all the information that they're going to need to be successful, not just the information that they're seeking. The ABC 1, 2, 3 ticky tack shit that they want because they think that's all they need. If we go to war, box trucker, new box trucker that think it's just simple. Oh, I got 20,000. Oh, I got an investor. Yeah, I'm gonna go get a low boy. Check it out. We go to war. What you think gonna happen? What you think gonna happen? It's gonna put FUD out there in the market, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And guess what? People gonna hold on tighter to their money than they already holding on to it. So guess what that's gonna do? It's going to decrease volume even further, box trucker. So you listening to your favorite content creator selling you all this dreams and shit, and they not understanding the way the economy works. Because guess what? In order for you to move loads, people have to spend money. Money has to be circulating in the economy. If people are holding back on their money, people that have money are holding on to it, and they're putting it into things like gold, silver, and Bitcoin, so that money can appreciate and not put it into frivolous bullshit because of the FUD that's out there and the uncertainty of what's to come. It's going to be even tougher than it is now. If we go to war, it's going to be tougher than what it is now because there's going to be more FUD in the market. And if people don't spend money, what the hell are you going to move? You're just going to be competing with more people for less shit to move. And you know why it makes it worse? Because more competition, lower the rates. You look at this rate of inflation. You see the pandemic here. You see inflation obviously start going up because that's what happens when you print money. You see wages start going up. We know why wages going up, because they need to increase wages to encourage people and give people an incentive to bring their ass back to work and to come to work during the pandemic, because everybody was so rich because they got so much free money. But guess what? The wages did not scale with the rate of inflation. And even with the government raising interest rates to cool down the economy, inflation is still hot. Yeah, California is raising wages, not statewide. They're doing something new. They're going by sector, and then they're starting with the fast food industry to $20 an hour. But guess what? Okay, they're making $20 an hour, but at the current rate of inflation, that boost of income they have, they still can't afford to live. $20 an hour is not going to get you a decent apartment in California, depending on where you're living in California. A lot of those fast food restaurants, their whole business model is based on an economical meal. That's the point. McDonald's business model is providing a meal at an economical price. But if you got to pay $20 an hour, dollar menu already gone, I believe. I haven't been to McDonald's in years, so I don't know. But I'm pretty sure at $20 an hour in California, there's no such thing as a dollar menu there anymore. All right. Some people probably don't even know what a dollar menu is. I'm pretty sure a number one that used to be like $5 is probably well over $10 now. Some of those McDonald's and fast food restaurants, I heard when the law passed on April 1st, they didn't even try to compete. They just immediately said, we gone out of business. Pizza Hut laid off all their delivery drivers. Why? Because those guys get a small minimum wage and then they get paid off tips. They said, we can't afford to pay delivery drivers $20 an hour. So Pizza Hut got rid of all their delivery drivers. A bunch of restaurants closed. A bunch of restaurants upped their prices. So now you have people I heard going to certain ins and outs out there paying $20 for a burger and a fry, or $18, I think. So all those people, where you think they're going to go? All those people that just got laid off, all those restaurants, all those Pizza Hut delivery drivers, where do you think they're going? They're going to the gig economy. So now the gig workers out there that already probably been complaining and shit, now their competition is about to increase. You're going to have more rideshare drivers out there. You're going to have more delivery people on the Grub hubs and shit like that. The rates are probably going to go down. And those pings that they probably be getting, they're going to see them start to diminish because you got more competition coming into the fold. It's like that in every single industry. The box truck industry is no different. So when I be talking to these people like last night's bunch was rough, and you explain this stuff to them, they don't get it. One guy thinks just because you got money coming in, an investor, that means, well, I can scale now because I got money. No, just because you have money, what's the difference from when you coming in with your money versus a person loaning you money to come in? Money doesn't guarantee success. I know a lot of stupid people with money. Ain't that crazy? Back in the day, all the dudes from the hood that had all the dope money that couldn't rap worth a lick wanted to be rappers. But it was always that one guy in the hood that really could rap that didn't have no money that couldn't get on. It's a bunch of rappers that could have been big, but they big homies that had the money, that couldn't rap wanted to rap and sucked. Ain't that crazy? That's crazy, ain't it? I watched a lot of people from my city that had a lot of money, dope money, that spent a lot of money in marketing, rapping vans back in the day, rapping conversion vans, a lot of money, You'd be like, God damn, it's like the money is endless and still couldn't get on. Instead of saying, taking little man who was cold, put money behind little man, falling back, taking your money, falling back, being the executive and running it up that way. So I said that to say this. Just because you got money don't mean you're gonna succeed. It's a lot of stupid people with money. And it's a lot of smart people that's looking for an opportunity that don't have money to get them going. So just because you got money don't mean you're going to win. If you don't know what to do with it, how to apply it, how to use it, how to make it work for you. The rate of inflation has far exceeded wages. And the way things are going and what was promised to us as American citizens as far as 3 rate cuts this year, it's looking highly unlikely. So, like I said, I would get accustomed to the way things are. Get accustomed to it. You are in the new norm. We're not going back to 0%. You'll never see, come in and test drive a Chevy Bolt. 0% interest for all qualified applicants. You're never going to see those commercials again. Chevy Malibu, 0% APR. Remember those commercials? 0% for qualified buyers. You never see that no more. You're never going to see a 2% interest rate for a home, 3%, probably never 4%. If we do ever go down, the lowest I see is possibly going back to is somewhere in the 5s. All this information is information that you need to know when you start any business. Not just that ticky-tack, ABC 123 Googleable shit that people sell you. And then you put gym emojis in the chat. 10,000 up there. I'm talking that shit tonight. I feel good. I'm talking that shit. You know, that 10 grand is up there. It's stuck there. But yeah. Let's see. Wages, remember, okay, Chinese looking guy, but said it wasn't him created Bitcoin. I think the government created it. It's going to be a stable coin. It's got to be a higher price to stay around. There's a Q&A too, guys. So, you know, coming in, new people, you got questions and shit, go ahead and ask them. If you want to come up, I'll put the link in the chat too. No problem. We'll do that. Let me put it over here. Yeah, I didn't really come on to talk. If anybody got questions or a topic they want to talk about with me, it's an open floor. I'll just make the floor open. Whatever you want to talk about, I'll make it open tonight because somebody asked me to do that. So open floor, whatever you want to talk about. If it's going to be a stable coin, it's got to be at a higher price to stay around. So if it goes to a stable coin, it's going to go to $1. But they already announced last week that they're entering into the stable coin market. I think it's smart. They're going to take your money. You're going to store your money there as a stable coin. They're going to take your money and loan it out and make money on top of your money. And if you lucky, you can get interest. All right. So I use USDC as a stable coin, and I get 5% when I park money there. A lot of people use Tether. I like to use USDC because Coinbase backs USDC. So that's why I like USDC, and I get a good APY on my money with USDC. So what's up, Mark? With the school season ramping down, is it a good time to start up with a cargo van? You can start with a cargo van. It's just if you go with an account like Office Depot or Staples with a 3PL, yeah, the volume is going to slow down in June and pick back up in the middle or end of April. But there's other, things that you can do. You can do medical supply. You can still do the office supply. It's just, if they let you in now, you don't expect that high volume of freight that you would normally see during the school season. You said my mic volume is low? Somebody else told me that earlier. Is it low, or was I not speaking directly into the microphone? Check. Is it good? The meter is jumping out the gym. Check. Yeah. I probably wasn't talking directly into the mic. I probably was talking away. If so, what's the play with a wheelbase? I would still try to apply with a 3PL that has a office supply account, or I would try to go with a medical supply account. I would sign up with all the gig apps. I would also sign up with Thumbtack. You got a 350 Transit. I'm assuming it's a extended wheelbase with a high roof. So I would still apply with those dedicated lanes. Because guess what? If you can get in now, you're going to have to thug it out throughout the summer, but August will be right around the corner. Summer break is what? June. Well, here, public schools, middle of June to the middle of August, September, first week of September, day after Labor Day. So 2 months, 2.5 months, whatever. But then when September comes, shit, you rolling. You rolling until Christmas break, it slows down. Then it picks back up into June again. And then you just supplemented the summer with a little moving gigs. It's a lot of moving gigs. You can take those little small gigs, one-man gigs, boxes, little IKEA runs, things like that. Long distance shit, you'll be surprised how many people, and this is depending on where you live, need one item moved cross country. It's been times where people have called my company to move one item cross country, and me being honest and fair, I could charge it, but there's sometimes where it's just booked, or it's just I ain't finna rip this person off. You know what I'm saying? You know what, ma'am? It's a nightstand. All right, wrap the nightstand up. See if you can find a box big enough for the nightstand. Take it to FedEx and ship it. FedEx will ship something like that? Yeah, if you package it, they'll ship anything. It's under a certain amount of pounds. Take it to UPS. Take it to Amtrak. Some people don't know you can ship stuff on Amtrak. Like, people have hired my company in the past to go to an Amtrak facility. They've put boxes on an Amtrak. I remember one time we got hired to go to an Amtrak to pick up 50 boxes. This person moved and they used Amtrak. Some people are creative. They hired a company to pick the boxes up, take them to the Amtrak. The Amtrak took the boxes because Amtrak will transport cargo as well, right? They hired us at the drop-off point. We went there. We went through the security check, had the dog sniff the truck and everything. I was on this job. We went into the terminal. We backed into the terminal in the dock. They brought the freight out on the cart. It was like 50 boxes. We loaded on the truck and then we dropped it off at the customer's new apartment. Some people are very, very creative. Moving cross country is very, very, very expensive. And some people just can't afford it. To hire a traditional moving company and the costs that are associated with moving your belongings cross country in an expedited manner. And when I say expedite, it doesn't necessarily mean within the same day or next day or within that week. A typical long distance move, you'll usually get a delivery date like 15 to 30 days. All right. If you want expedited, obviously that'll be more. Right. But a lot of people can't afford that. Right. U-Pack kind of gets that cost down. Pods kind of gets that cost down. Why? Because you're packing your stuff into a pod. It goes on a semi-trailer and you're sharing the cost with other people that are moving within that direction, right? As long as your stuff can fit in a 16-foot pod or a U-Pack or a U-Box. A U-Pack is similar to a U-Box, right? So instead of paying Mark $12,000, you fill up your U-Pack and you might pay $2,200, $2,500, right? But that's assuming that all your belongings fit in a U-Pack. But even U-Pack is expensive to someone. So this guy who moved those boxes, he didn't pay 20 cents. He put this shit on an Amtrak train. See, a lot of people don't know Amtrak will move your cargo. You don't have to be a passenger. You can move cargo with Amtrak. This is how they supplement their income because they have space, like how a plane has that undercarriage where they put all the luggage. Those trains have storage where they put all the people's luggage and they have excess storage that they can deliver people's cargo, their boxes as well. We pull it up there, we got the boxes, and we deliver them to the house. Like, it's money out here. You just got to tap in with people that know where the money at. So you got a 350, there's plenty of opportunity. You just have to let people know that you and your vehicle exist, and then they will tap in with you. You have to market yourself. You have to put yourself out here. So yes, get something dedicated, but also put yourself on all the gig apps. But put yourself on Thumbtack. Create a Thumbtack profile. Use my code so you can get that $100 worth of leads to get you started. That'll help you out and get you started. So your first $100 worth of leads will be courtesy of Thumbtack. And watch my content on how to set your Thumbtack up and what to put in the settings so you don't pay for leads for jobs that you can't handle, because your vehicle is not big enough or because, those jobs require 2 or more people. So watch my content on that. And those jobs where you're doing jobs like going to an Amtrak to maybe pick up 20 boxes, you could do that yourself. And that's all profit. There's no middleman. If you charge $75 an hour, 2-hour minimum, plus a $75 van fee, right? Fresh out the gate, you already at $225 and you ain't put your hand on nothing. Obviously, something like that can be done within 2 hours, depending on, where the Amtrak is at, let's say, to where the drop-off is. But if it's all metro, then it's 2 hours picking up 20 boxes. Even if you got to take it up 2 flights of stairs, that's 2 hours or less of work for $225. You do 2 or 3 or 3 or 4 jobs similar to that within a day, you're making over $1,000 a day by yourself. No middleman. Hey, I need a roll-up pallet picked up at IKEA. IKEA's here, I live here. All right, $75. Hey, this is Johnson and Smith law firm. I'm one of the partners. I'm I'm Mark Johnson. Uh, uh, um, we're working on this case for Young Thug, and we need 50 bankers boxes taken from our north side office, and we need it taken down to the courthouse. Or we need 50 bankers boxes of files taken from our north side office to our south side office, because I'm going to be working out of that office for this case. All right, how much can you charge me for that? It's there's elevators in both buildings. My office is on the 50th floor of this building. My office on the other building is on the 30th floor. There's elevators. You can use the freight elevators. We just need a van and one guy, as long as you got a dolly. How much? 75 an hour, 2 hour minimum plus $75 truck fee. Van fee. It's plenty of jobs like that. We would get plenty of calls like that for one man. Hey, I'm giving my daughter my coffee table. I bought a new coffee table. She doesn't have one. We just need a van and a guy. It's just a coffee table. How much will you charge me to pick it up? She just lives about 10 minutes away from me. I just, it doesn't fit in my car. I drive a Prius, and I'd rather just pay and just have it done professionally. $75, man. Like in the summertime, you can literally do 5 to 10 small jobs like that a day. Those types of jobs exist, and there's a season for work like that. So, uh, if Paul Smith, does he have a double wheelbase or does he have a single wheelbase transit? Oh, he did say double wheelbase. So what's the place? Double wheelbase? Yeah. So if you got a double wheelbase, then you're gonna lose some pallet space at the end because of that wheel well. Nightcrawler says freight rates will be lower next year, in his opinion, lower than they are now. Mm, uh, that's too early for me to speculate on that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm in October. Mentally, I'm in October right now. I'm not in next year. I ain't thought that far ahead. Uh, they cut hours and laid off work. I just spent $5.99 for one large plus tax. For what? $5.99 for what? For one large what? Burger King is automating. They will install order kiosks and all rest of it. Burger King should have been installed kiosks. When McDonald's was installing kiosks, Burger King should have started installing kiosks then. Paul Smith said the Reagan era. The Reagan era was something else. I was young then. I remember some things. The most I remember about the Reagan era off the top of my head. And when I say this, I'm not saying it like I remember it vividly, but I do remember the the dope lines, right? Like I remember seeing lines of people lined up to go inside of houses, and I never understood why. You know what I'm saying? Like when that shit first hit, that shit was crazy. So I remember seeing lines of people, um, but I never understood why. So back in the '80s, uh, it was just a different time. Now, I can't remember because I was a kid, so I can't remember how it affected my family economically. But what I've read in documentaries that I've seen, I can see the parallel from now, uh, and then what you're getting at. Uh, all I have to say is people need to get to work. All right, we got a caller. Caller, I can't see you. Oh, now I can. I got to do a. How you doing?
All right, what's up, Mark? How you
How
doing,
you
bro?
feeling? I'm doing good.
Good.
How you doing?
So, yeah, obviously it got misunderstood when I put into the chat that I wanted to start. I'm looking to start. I haven't gotten a van yet. All right, so I'm looking at, of course, the 250 extended high roof, but comparing that with the regular one, I was just was wondering what was the advantage on what kind of work can you pull. What, obviously I can pull a heavier weight, I'm assuming, because it's got a bigger axle. But what will be the play here in New Jersey? I'm up in New Jersey, northern New Jersey.
I would still go with the office, but I'll go dedicated route during the day, and then I would hustle in the late afternoon, and the evening.
Right,
I mean, you in New
right.
Jersey. You
I'm in
said
New
where
Jersey,
you at in New Jersey?
northern New Jersey. See Caucus. I'm like
Oh
minutes away
yeah,
from New
you
York.
know all the
I'm minutes
all
away
the
from New York.
all the like 3PLs is over there in Secaucus. Select is right there
Right.
in Secaucus.
Yeah. Yes. It's Select, T-Force. They're
Yeah.
all out here.
How far
I've
is
been
Cranberry from you?
Cranberry. Cranberry. I'm not sure.
Well, if you right
I'm
there by
not
Secaucus, man, you good. And then if you right, New York is right there too. Like I would do the
right,
office supply stuff, right? And then I would just hustle the rest of the day, man.
right, right. Because I was concerned about that. I was watching one of the videos the other day. I don't know if it was one from the past, but you mentioned that schools are about to slow down, and you guys got to jump and move early. And like I'm not just ready to pull the trigger yet. I got some issues going on at work right now. It's not looking good at work, so that's why I'm transitioning into logistics. Some that I've been looking into for the last 10 years, though. But recently, you know, we just came back off a strike a couple years ago. I've been there for a while, but it's just a lot of stuff going on behind the curtains. But it's time for me to move on because they closing my department down. They're just chopping the plant up. They chopping the plant up one department at a time. They bought another company, so it's a whole bunch of stuff going on like that. So it just motivated me to just go ahead and make my move. Just start getting ready.
Mm.
Everything is already structured. Um, I've been online. My daughter was helping me trying to work with the AI and try to work with the business plan and things like that. I got a pretty good
Mm.
idea on where I want to go and what my vision is. Um, it's just it's just a matter of So to be honest with you, like I've been trying to uh figure this transition out. There's gonna be a package for some with time that want to leave. There's just I just don't want to walk off. I want to line my ducks up. You know,
So if they land you, if they going they you saying they gonna lay you off?
they're gonna no, they're gonna be doing a voluntary layoff,
So are they
and
gonna
that's
give
what
you a
I'm waiting to
severance?
see.
Are they gonna give you a severance?
Yes,
Huh?
yes. It ain't
All right.
much. They playing us out. It ain't much. But
Uh.
being that I
So
was preparing anyway, I'm just gonna wait and see if I can get that offer and roll out.
okay.
So yeah, I just don't. you know, with me researching and planning anyway, it just felt like the right time, and prayed on it, you know, doing my best to listen and get out my head so I can listen to what the Creator want me to do, order my steps. But at the same time, you know, life is happening. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So yeah, that's the situation I'm in. I don't think I'm not going down with the ship. A lot of guys are sitting around waiting to see what's going to happen, and I just don't have that luxury. So I'm gonna practice some delayed gratification, and I got my bike online right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut my baby loose, man, and go ahead and get me a cargo van. The only reason I had to do that is because I'm in the middle of another project with my old school, and I got kind of tied up with that. So
What
when
kind of
all
old
this
school you
stuff
got?
started happening,
What kind of old school you
I got
got?
a Gen, I got a
I'm
Gen
looking
2
for a Cuddy.
Cuddy. Nah, I got a Gen 2 Camaro, 73, split
Yeah.
buncle. Yeah. Yeah, I got a rest of mine, so I'm locked in with that because I done fell down the rabbit hole with that. That's a whole nother story. So that's where everything is tied up at. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the bike loose, man. Go ahead and get me a truck, get me a van. But so I spoke to someone today, and really wasn't trying to trade it in. I was trying to sell it, but they take trade-ins. And man, listen, they talking about my department is gonna be down May 1st.
Mm.
So you know. And that's when it's supposed to be presenting, different options and things like that. So that's where I'm at right now. You know,
Okay.
I was looking at, you know, uh, initially at first, I wanted to start off with a box truck. I got a Class B CDL with my hazmat endorsement, and the plan was for me to jump into a box truck. Like I said, I started this 10 years ago. I didn't start structuring this business until I actually started watching your content, and then when all the rumors, all the gossip started hitting the floor um, at the job, and we kind of found out what was going on, what the plans were, and so that's when I started, putting it together. So everything is structured. I got the MC and all that kind of stuff. It's not activated. New Jersey DOT, BOC3, all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
It's all lined up. It's just a matter of getting a vehicle now. So, you know, I ain't scared. I'm a beast, man. I just got in. I actually just got out the shower. I just did 72 hours this week. I'm 56. I'll be 57 this summer.
Hmm.
You know, I ain't strong like my heyday, but I run circles around them young boys, at the job. So,
Hmm.
you know, I'm a beast. I'm ready to get it. I'm ready to
Yeah,
get it. I'm
I'm
gonna
pretty
apply
sure
that
you're gonna
same
make it.
work ethic at work.
Hmm.
I'm gonna apply that same work ethic with my business. Like I said, the AI, I'm having a little trouble with the business plan.
Hmm.
Uh, Following that AI content that you have put up,
Hmm.
and but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Google been helping me a lot. I said I wasn't gonna ever try to call you with nothing that was Googleable. You
Hmm.
know what I'm
I,
saying?
I
So
I
I
appreciate that.
wasn't gonna do that to you.
I
Yeah, I wasn't
appreciate
gonna
that.
do that to you.
Yeah.
But research has become real vital right now. And I listened to some of your other content talk about how you remember starting up and everything, how you couldn't cut your brain off, and that's right where I'm at right now.
Hmm.
Sometimes I have to do different things, and I don't want to cut my baby loose, man, but she got to go because right now it's time to stand on business.
What kind of bike is it? A Harley? Chopper?
No, no, no. I was eventually gonna cross over to that. I got a Boulevard M109
Okay.
Suzuki, yeah.
So you got a racing bike.
No, no, no. It's a cruiser.
Oh, it's a
It's a
cruiser.
cruiser. Yeah, it's a cruiser. It's
How
custom. Man,
I
I
mean,
can't do
I mean
nothing to stop
CC. I mean CCs is it?
1800. It's the big boy, the Suzuki. So, a lot of money into that, but you don't get none of that back. The money I put into my old school, you can sit on that because I didn't put nothing I didn't put nothing cheap on that. So, I follow the good old boys with that kind of content. Made
Hmm.
sure I wasn't cheap with that. That's always an investment aspect if you want to look at it like that. This gains value provided you do the right things with it. So, and that's even part of my vision, man. Listen, if she had to go and it was time to scale, if God opened up that door and that opportunity came, she can go too, because that kind of stuff come and go. I don't trip over that, you know.
Sometimes you got to scale back to go forward.
Yes, sir. I
So
agree.
you
I
know,
agree.
you know. So if
So
that's what you
yeah,
feel
I'm
like you
looking
got to
at
do, yeah.
soon this summer, man. I don't mean to cut you off. This summer, very soon, look like I'm gonna be jumping out there with a cargo bag. You know.
That's good, man. I'm sure
And I'm
everything
gonna
gonna
get to
work
know
out for you.
logistics. Get to know logistics. Get familiar with logistics. Learn how to compete. You know, I'm going to take somebody's job, bro. I need somebody route. Period. Period. It's funny because I've been snatching up straps. I get straps from work almost. I get like 2 straps a week. I've been
Hmm.
just stocking up, man, on everything. But
Hmm.
I'm ready. I've been watching your content since August of last year.
Okay.
And it's funny because during COVID, I seen a lot of stuff, but
Hmm.
really didn't buy into it because there was no information provided.
Hmm.
Everything was a dream, but there was no information provided. You can do this, you can do this, that, and the other. And like that wasn't convincing enough for me. So I never really locked into it during COVID because it was about, right at that time, it was about staying healthy. But prior to COVID,
Hmm.
uh, we got into a couple of crazy contracts, and that's when I told my wife, "Well, I think it's time for me to move on." I got family, friends that drive, um, so uh, I got people backing me.
Mm-hmm.
I got some support. But I'm gonna go ahead and start with a cargo van. That's what I feel comfortable doing, and especially right now, because to be honest with you, I got box truck dreams, but I got cargo van money right now. I ain't even gonna front.
Oh yeah, you've been
And
watching the content for real. You know the
yes, sir,
titles of
yes,
my.
sir. I ain't trying to jump out there.
Yeah,
I
yeah. I
ain't trying to
mean,
jump out.
yeah, man. You can always scale up, man. Ain't nothing wrong with starting off small and working your way up, man. I never known nobody to just jump straight into a Rolls Royce, you know. So, you know,
Got you, got you.
so ain't nothing wrong with starting small and working your way up,
Right,
you know.
right.
Humble beginnings and
Mhm,
just, working and learning as you go.
mhm.
Um, I think that's the way to go. I mean, that's how I did it. I didn't have a choice. I didn't have nothing. I had no money. So I had to work with
Right,
what I had. So honestly I don't know what it's like to come into a business with capital, you know. I mean, now I can start things now with money, but initially coming into, moving, I started with what I had. So, and worked my way up. Came with hard work, dedication, but I think if I would have started with a box truck, 26 footer, I probably would have not been as successful um, as I became starting off small. So,
right.
but I think it's all gonna work out for you. Just gotta,
Mhm,
keep your faith and keep doing the research that it sounds like you've been doing, and keep pushing forward. And everything will work
right.
out. Everything else will work itself out.
Yeah.
So,
All right. I appreciate you taking the call. I said I got to call in because sometimes a lot of stuff get misconstrued typing. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just can't be clear. And I think that, you misunderstood. I didn't have a van, and you was assuming that I had a van, and so I said, let me call. I got to call. I
yeah.
never called
So,
before. Normally I
sometimes.
log in and I just sit back. I don't
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
jump in the chat. Like I just lay back.
Uh huh. Yeah. No, it's all good. I appreciate you calling in.
Yeah,
Appreciate you
yeah.
calling in.
All right, man. You can get back to it. Go ahead, finish cooking, bro.
All right, man. You stay safe out there.
Appreciate you. All right, bro.
Yep.
Appreciate
All right. Later.
you.
Let's see here. What did I leave off at? I think I answered. Daniel Williams. Hey, Daniel, I saw you getting cooked this morning. You good? You good? Now you gotta stop letting people cook you like that, man. You gotta start standing up for yourself, man. How you gonna let somebody cook you that can't cook? How you gonna let somebody cook you, Daniel, that ain't good at roasting? You gotta step your game up, Daniel. I'm disappointed in you. Man, talking about your wife gonna leave you, this, that, and the third, man, you tweaking. You tweaking, Daniel. Uh where we at? Where we at with it? Where we at? Where we at? Calvin said, wait a minute, on Amtrak, yes, you can move freight on Amtrak. Yes, you can. You learned something today, didn't you? Uh uh Crazy freight being moved by rail. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Shout out to C. Simmons. What up? Let's see. Hey, Mark, it's one real good for small cargo van. I believe T Force does, but I forgot about Waco does. You can get on with one rail with a cargo van. Now, when you say small, what level of small you talking about? Like a metro van or a city van, like something smaller than a 1500? Um, the 80s was bad as well when Ronald Reagan was the president as far as the economy. You know, that from my research and looking at documentaries and things from the 80s since I was too young to remember, the economy, yeah, it seemed that way. Uh, but here's where I parallel the 80s with today. The 80s, uh, Ronald Reagan had a secret operation going on where he was transporting drugs up here from Nicaragua, right? And was selling dope to fund a war, right? Um, Flooded our community with all that dope secretly. Obviously, that came out later. And then you got Biden flying illegal aliens up here on private jets, you know, using the other ones that's coming to the border as kind of like a decoy while they using government planes. I'm assuming government planes, but we do know that they're flying illegal immigrants up here from the south, dropping them off in Florida and in Texas. So not only are they making their way, paying cartels to mule them up to the border, our government is flying them here as well. So I just parallel that to what Reagan was doing with the dope. So I wouldn't be surprised if Biden took the idea from Reagan and just flipped it. Instead of doing the dope, he did the migrants. For whatever the use case is or why he's doing it, I got my ideas, but I'm not for certain. But yeah. Uh, 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 he failed already. Who failed? I'm lost. Who failed, big boy? What you talking about, big boy? I'm lost, big boy. Who you talking about? What y'all talking about? What y'all talking about, big boy? Who failed? What y'all talking about? I'm lost. Oh, you talking about the guy that just came on? Yeah, he said, "Be careful, Mark." Yeah, I ain't gonna say too much. I already done said enough, man. So I don't know, man. People might be tapped in to the live, man. I gotta chill out. I gotta chill out, man. They might be tapped in to the live, man. I'm talking too much, man. Talking too much about a lot of stuff they don't want you to know that people know anyway. They just don't like people talking about it. I really want to, man. I'm gonna say that one. Man, because I want to wake up in the morning, man. I want to wake up in the morning. I don't want B613 to come in and get me. Uh, uh, uh. Yeah, small city cargo van. Gigs, man. You ain't gonna get too much in a small city cargo. Even if you get the uh 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 um office supply route, man, you ain't gonna be able to maximize the amount of stops and pieces you can get. I mean, get what you can afford to get your foot in the game. Just understand that, you're gonna probably have to gig it out a lot more. So you're gonna have to open yourself up to more opportunities for gig stuff too. I mean, you can get a route if they'll still give you a route for office supply. T-Force will give you a e-commerce route, but if they do give you a route, know that you get paid by the pieces, and there's going to be a limited amount of pieces you can fit in a smaller van. You're not going to be able to fit as much as if you had a 1500. You said Bill Clinton was smuggling dope through Tyson Foods. I didn't know that. Right, and Derek B just brought up a point that I forgot. One rail does pay net 30, so So you got to keep that in mind, man. So, all right. Any more questions, man? Anything anybody else want to talk about before we retire for the evening? I might step out. Anything else anybody want to talk about? Just make sure you fresh as hell if the Feds watching. Bro, if they come get me, I'm gonna be asleep. They're gonna have to get me in my sleep, dog. Cause I ain't gonna worry about it. I don't think they watching me, and I'm gonna be fresh. Alright, I'm gonna be fresh in my night attire. That's when they gonna come get me, man. Listen, the way I move, man, I move like a real Chicagoan, dude. So they come get me, they gonna have to coming to get me ain't like coming to get a middle American. Hey, a red light for me ain't like a red light for a middle American. I'm in every mirror at every red light. When I walk out the door, I'm looking both ways. I'm listening at the door first. I'm looking out the peephole. I'm listening. I'm looking both ways. Shoot. If I'm somewhere and they got a window, I'm looking out the window first. And it ain't for them. It's just that's what you got to do here. Shoot. If I'm leaving out like the barber shop or something, I'm looking both ways. And it ain't just like for like somebody out to get me. Shoot, you could walk out into the middle of a shootout. Shoot, you want to make sure that the coast is clear. Shoot. Mark, it's almost time, dog. I'm gonna be calling for coaching within these next 2 weeks. All right, Lord willing, I'll be here. All right. Anything else anybody want to talk about? You said feds only come for someone like Mark if he ain't paying taxes to others. Yeah, it's the CIA. The feds ain't coming for me. The CIA come for people when they running their mouth too much and they know too much. You know what I'm saying? But it's channels like that talk like this, and that's all they do. They come after the people that really, really, really know too much and have a big following and can really push that information onto a mass of people. Like I don't really have that big of a platform, so I don't think they're worried about me. You know what I'm saying? But let's say if I was like Andrew Tate, for instance, the shit he be talking about, like say if I had talking like this with his following, oh yeah, they coming. They coming. You see what they doing to him? Man, they trying to get him. And it ain't even our government trying to get him. It's other governments. You know what I'm saying? They trying to get him like crazy. Crazy. I like Andrew Tate. Excuse me. I like listening to him. I think the way he thinks to me is very interesting. So I like listening to his when he goes on podcasts and is interviewed on podcasts. I like when he does his own podcast too, the War Room. I think his mind is very interesting. So whenever I get a chance to listen to him, which is not often, like I don't like I'm not like every time he does something, I'm like, oh, I get a notification. I'm not even subscribed, but every now and again, if something pops up in my feed and I got some time, I'll cut it on and have a listen. So I think he's real intellectual. You never answered my question. What's your question? Big dog? I saw you getting picked on this morning when I stepped into this one chat. Oh, this is for me? No, you said Paul. But if you can make 100 plus with a B, think about you having a conversation. Where's the question that you have for me? Oh, if you had a box truck with a class A, would you go get a driving job or keep your box truck and scale up in today's market? Well, that's what you was getting cooked for this morning. Since I've had my YouTube and you've been following my channel, you went out and got a box truck that you don't drive. You went out and got a class A truck that you don't utilize, a class A CDL that you don't utilize. I just think you want to do some stuff, but you're in a comfortable position that you don't necessarily have to go out and do it. It's like you want to do it, but you ain't motivated to do it because you don't have to do it. So you're not going to get a job, bro. You just retired. You retired. You worked a job at Notre Dame for 20 or 30 years, however many years you worked, you retired. I don't see you going out and getting a job. If you want me to ask that question pertaining to you specifically, now, if it wasn't you and it was just a general person, if they had a box truck and they were struggling with the box truck, I would probably say, well, if you're struggling with a box truck and I knew their situation, I said, well, you can go make more money with a class A working for a company. Yeah, I would tell them to do that. I know where you live, so you're in the Midwest. You're not about an hour and something outside of Chicago. Yeah, it might benefit you more to just get the job utilizing your class A, but I know you're not going to go get a job. You got a box truck that you don't drive. You got a class A that you don't use. You're getting a pension. So I really don't know what to tell you, to be honest with you. If I was you, I would utilize my box truck. I don't even know why you went and got the class A. The reason why I don't know why you went and got the class A, because you never really got out here with your box truck to see if you would be good at it or not. You never really ran it. You just bought it because you can afford to do it. I'm not going to jump down your throat like Kirk jumped down your throat this morning. I'm just going to keep it with you funky. I ain't going to bring up your wife and all that shit because I know the situation. You comfortable, you retired, you got a pension, and you're probably just complacent. You're trying to find something to keep you occupied because retirement brings complacency. So you're searching for something. I understand what you're going through. Um, but I wouldn't keep going out spending money on things if you know you don't have the motivation to actually utilize the stuff that you're spending your money on. The money you spent to get your CL, the money you spent on a box truck, and it's just sitting. Take you a few loads from time and time again when you feel like you want to get out the house. That's my best advice to you. After seeing you in the chat for over a year and a half, whatever it's been, I think that's probably the best play for you. When you feel like you want to move around for a few days, get away from the house, maybe get away from have a reason to get away from your wife, take you a few loads and make you some money and come back home. That's the best answer I'm going to give you. That's the answer tailored specifically for you because you're not going to go get a job. A normal person, I would tell them to go get a job, drive with a class A. I wouldn't tell an average person in today's economy coming in to, depending on their market, to buy a semi truck. I think that industry has flipped. I've watched it flip. The owner operators ain't bragging no more, and the company drivers ain't talking about how low the rates is. The company drivers are bragging and stunting, and the owner operators are complaining. And I know that firsthand from people I know personally, owner operators I know personally, company drivers that I know personally, and even content that I watch in trucking. Some of the biggest content creators say, man, company is the best way to go right now. And people will debate this, but being in a big market, being in Chicago, company drivers winning. Company drivers winning. I know owner operator, his scat pack got repoed. I know company drivers that's driving Mercedes Benz GTS 63s. You talking about $100,000 difference in vehicle. You talking about $60,000 and $150,000 in cars. Company driver having $150,000 car, goddamn owner operating getting scat pack repo. So, so I know I'm in the market, so I understand like the company drivers I know here getting to a bad because they just and local too. Local too. They might deal with one customer a day, and then the rest of the day they're just doing cross towns. I know some of y'all might not know that terminology if you're not in a semi truck, but literally just doing cross towns, picking up and dropping off empty trailers, just doing cross town, $100 each pickup. It ain't gonna be like that in every market because every market ain't gonna present the opportunity that is presented here in Chicago with us being number one for intermodal and shit like that, all the rail yards and all that. But Daniel is in South Bend. So if he really wanted to work, he would have to bring his ass over here and get to work. But he necessarily don't want to work, so it is what it is. I mean, even Paul Smith just answered the question. I even see Paul Smith gave him the answer. To me, even if I had a CDL right now, let's say I had a CDLA and I was trying to decipher from owner operator and a job, I'm easily taking my ass straight to JB Hunt Intermodal here on 47th, and I'm gonna get on, and I'm gonna go run me some damn rail cars all day, and make that money running from one rail yard to another. I'm gonna let the owner operator struggle with all that shit, and they send my truck and all that. We talking about inflation earlier. Listen, we talking about inflation earlier. So the owner operator's dealing with that inflation. You know why? It costs a lot more to get your truck repaired. Everything costs a lot more now for that truck. That's why that industry flipped. See, back in the day when an owner operator was making glue globs of money and the costs that were associated with running their company weren't as extreme as they are now, right? It made sense, right? But now since costs have kind of flipped the income, right? It doesn't make sense anymore. Who can absorb that cost? Big trucking companies, mega carriers, they can absorb that cost. One way they absorb it by having their own repair shops. You work for JB Hunt and Schneider, you pulling out of a terminal, you got a truck assigned. If something goes wrong with the truck, you pull back into the yard that day, you take it straight to the repair shop in the back. You drop it off, you talk to your dispatcher, they assign you a temporary truck the next day. They have mechanics there on salary to fix their fleet of vehicles. They can absorb the cost. They're self-insured. They're too big to get insured. They're self-insured. It's another way they cut costs that an owner operator can't cut costs, other than maintenance. The way they cut costs on maintenance by doing it in house. They're self-insured. So now that we're in a time frame where operational costs have kind of flipped their earnings, yeah, it's tough for an owner operator now, and the company drivers are winning. So, but Daniel, you're not gonna do it anyway, so it don't even really matter, right? Let's see here. Ain't that right, Daniel? Prophet Olin said, please answer my question. I plan to get my cargo van in August. Should I get my DOT number? I think it's called now, or should I wait until I get my van? I mean, you can you got your business structure, you got your LLC, you got your EIN. You can apply for that now. You're not gonna get your authority or nothing. Ain't gonna go active or nothing because you ain't got nothing to put no insurance on. So, but you should still apply for the number. It's not gonna go active or nothing. So, if Greg Abbott runs for president, I'll vote for him. He's that damn river. If Greg Abbott runs for president, depending on who he's running against, I would vote for him too. Believe it or not. That dude, to be in a wheelchair, to stand up against the president, to go to New York for a conference after you went to war with Eric Adams, and then talk about him at the conference in his city. That dude is tough to be in a wheelchair. So you gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to him. What's a good rate for curbside in a car, van, and box truck? Box truck, depending on the contract, you running as low as $32, $33 a stop, as high as $60 a stop, depending on the market and what you're moving, depending on the contract and the 3PL. Van, you really rarely see like a flat rate per stop, for a van. It's usually depending on the contract. If you're doing like small cargo like packages, it usually pays you per piece, not per stop. Medical supplies, stuff like that may pay you per stop, but small parcel packages normally pay you per piece. And as far as a car, I really wouldn't be able to give you an answer based off experience because I've never ran curbside in a personal vehicle. But what I've seen from just rates that I've seen when I was looking at rates for a cargo van and truck, like cars, $11, $14, $15 in the teens, sometimes less depending on what you deliver. So, it's people out here delivering scripts in their car. They get like $10 a stop. So it's time to go now. I said long enough. You should have been gone. You had a box truck way over a year. What you waiting on? You got everything to go, but you don't want to go, which lets me know you don't want to do. You're comfortable. What's changed now from a year and a half ago? You said I'm definitely bagged up at this company though. Yeah, company driver is a semi truck, you gonna win. 20K, 24K back in the building. She said 24K. I hope you ain't mad at me from last night. Obviously, if you back, you ain't. 24K says CDL seems like the way to go. Is Charlotte a good market for moving? I think so. There's a lot of people moving into Charlotte. I know during the pandemic, we moved a few people to Charlotte. We moved a couple of people to Charlotte during the pandemic. Charlotte is an up and coming city, from my understanding. Um, it's one of the major metropolitan cities in North Carolina, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. Um, Daniel say he's trying to get into Walmart as a company driver. You sure you want to do that? You sure you want to do that, Daniel? What's the average cost of a CDLA and CWB? You talking about average cost as far as to obtain one? Darren, you in Chicago. If that's what you asking, I know somebody who recently got their CDL from 160. If this is what you asking, the one over there on, is it like 71st right off of Jeffrey? You say he paid 7,000 for it. If that's what you asking. CDLB, I don't know. But I do know somebody who just acquired their CDL here in Chicago from 160, and they paid $7,000 for it. Mark, is it common practice for 3PLs to mix routes and get some stops from Route A to Route B and vice versa if it's certain roads? Yep. They do it all the time. So if you're running a route and you're in a van and let's say your route is heavy and you saying, look, I'm not going to be able to finish this. I can't take this last pallet. They'll try to put it on a route that's in that area who can fit it, that's willing to take it. So yes, they do it all the time. They do it all the time. Hey Mark, how long will this ride share last with Uber and Lyft within the next 10 years? What you mean, like, is it going to be around? I think it's going to be around. How they're going to become profitable, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? They're both struggling with becoming profitable. I think it's going to be around because uh they flipped the industry. So they came in, they offered a cheap service, right? And they offered high pay initially when they came in, right? And by doing this, they got people accustomed. They got the consumer accustomed to utilizing the service to the point where they relied on it. And on top of them coming in and disrupting the market, they put a lot of taxi cab companies out of business, right? So that increased the demand for it even further, right? And while they were doing it, they were paying very handsomely to provide incentive for service providers to come on the app, right? Because if you're promoting a service for consumers to use, you have to have providers there to provide that actual service. So provide a low cost to drive people to the platform to use the service, and then provide handsome play to drive service providers on there to meet that demand, right? Uh, uh, and then flip the market and disrupt the market all at the same time. So now with less taxi cab companies, I don't see there being a ramp up in people starting to start taxi cab companies, because that's a very expensive business to start. That's not a cheap business to start. And then in some places, you know, the owner operators of the taxi cab, they got to purchase their medallion. And prior to the, like, you know, the ride share, you know, really putting a dent in the market. Cities like New York, I heard it was like $1 million to get your diamond. You had to take out a loan to get your medallion. You know, so I think last I heard it was like $300,000 or $400,000 to get your medallion. So with less taxi cab companies and with me not seeing interest in companies building taxi cab companies, I think they're going to stick around. They still have enough VC money to last another 8 to 10 years. Um, I think eventually, if they really want to become profitable, they're going to do like most of these other tech companies been doing in the past 12 months, laying people off. They're going to have to figure out how to do more with less. They're going to have to figure out how to do more with less. They're going to have to start cutting, baby. They're going to have to start laying people off. Um, they can only drive down, I think, the rates on the drivers so much more than what they've already done, and I think they can only increase the the rates so much. So they're gonna have to cut within. They've already cut and went up in access to the service providers and the public. So now they're gonna have to start cutting within. That's what they don't want to do. They rather take money out of other people's pocket and charge people more before they take money and cut within house. But I think that's their last option. I think when they cut within house, that's when probably they're gonna see profit. And then they'll be around. You know, if they know they still got VC money to play around with and try to make it work without cutting within, and that's what they're gonna do. But they're gonna probably eventually have to do a mass layoff and do more with less. Google's did it, Facebook did it. All these tech companies been laying off hella people. Amazon laid off a bunch of people. All these companies been laying off people. They ain't exempt from it. So I think they'll be here. People got to get to and fro, so they'll be here. They'll figure it out. Trust me. They got plenty of smart people in there that's making money. They just don't want to take the money out their pockets. But eventually they may have to. Man, Daniel ain't going to UPS or Walmart. He tweaking. Y'all been seeing Daniel come on here for the past year and a half. And he still, one thing about Daniel, he go get everything. That's crazy. And this goes back to what I was talking about earlier when I said the people who got money don't know what to do with it, and the people that got the talent don't got the money. Daniel is a classic example of that. He's retired. He has a pension. He's older. He has money. He wants to do something. He in his mind he want to do it. He goes out and invests in the things to actually do the shit. He gets the stuff, but then he doesn't go do it because in reality he don't want to do it no way. He want to do it mentally, but the physical work of getting up, driving that truck, and being away from home, and getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, that level of comfortability that he doesn't want to walk away from that level of comfortability. Why? Because he's, in all fairness and honesty to him, he's done his years. He has money. He's went out. He got his truck sitting in the driveway that he just look at and say, I got a box truck. When there's somebody in this chat right now wishing they had that box truck and they'll go work that thing until the wheels fall off. This is a classic example of what I said earlier. Daniel ain't finna go drive no truck because he would have did it already. AJ said 7,000 is crazy. Shit, I remember when it was 2,300 to get your CDL back in the day. AJ said you can get in SoCal for 1,500. Yeah, 7,000 here. 7,000 here. Drew said he got his for the free 99. Paul Smith said Uber killed medallions. Uber just disrupted the whole taxi cab industry. Shout out to Roger Lacey. Mark, what would be the play if you were starting over now in your 20s? I wouldn't have went to college. if I could go back in time, I wouldn't have went to college. I would do everything that I did. I would just do it earlier. Um, and I would start um, investing a lot earlier. Um, so I would have did everything that I did. I just would have did it earlier. The same blueprint that I did, I already just did it earlier. And I would have started investing earlier, and I would have um yeah, yeah, pretty much that's it. Yep. I think everything I did, I would have just moved it up. I would have moved it up 10 years. That's all. And I would have added investing in earlier. Yep. I would have worked really, really hard through my 20s. By the time my 30s came, oh, and I would have no, I wouldn't have. No, I would have. So if I would have started my 20s, I would have did everything earlier. And then when 2008 came, 2009, I would have started buying property heavy, right? So when I was starting in 2010, property was cheap, but I was just getting started. So I didn't really have the capital to do it. So if I would have started when I was 20, I would have had the capital by 2009, 2010. So I would have started investing in the property and real estate, buying property then. So, yep, I would have still did the moving company. I would have still started it the way I started it. I would have did everything the same. Just did it 10 years earlier. Yep. So I would have put that hard work in at 20. Shit, actually, I would have started at 18. As soon as I walked across that stage at graduation, I would have took all my little graduation money and rented me a small van because I didn't have no pickup truck at that point to start. Or let's say if I even started at 22 when I got my pickup truck, same thing. I would have just moved everything up 10 years. Would I would focus on moving? Yep, same way. I would have did moving first. It's just more money in moving, and you see your money the same. Like as soon as you move a customer, they pay you. Yeah, so moving, ain't nothing like moving. Ain't nothing like that moving money. Nothing like it. So yeah, I would have focused on moving. Absolutely, 100%. I would have did everything the exact same way. Yep. 22. I'm really my knees is really strong. Got a strong lower back. Man, please. Man, please. Man, I would have been a moving fool. I would have did exactly the same. I would have focused on moving. I wouldn't even been thinking about no warehouse. That wouldn't even have been on my mind. That would have came later on down the line, at least 4, 5 years later. Daniel said, "Wow, where'd that come from? What? That you not gonna get out here and go do it? Cause you would have did it already. You got a truck that's just been sitting in your driveway for 2 years. Like, if you wanted to work, you'd be working. You got everything you need to go out and start working. So if you wanted to work, you work. Ain't nothing holding you back. You grown. You ain't got no kids living in the house. You ain't got nothing. You want to work, you work. What up, Mark? After the convo yesterday, you right. Don't need an invest. Oh, here go Art. Here go Art. What up, Mark? After the convo yesterday, you right. Don't need an investor. I'm going to hop in a big rig company and run my bag up and revisit this time next year. Man, we gotta give you a round of applause, man. I'm glad you listened, man. You don't need no investor for that. That's short paper, man. You already got some paper. Just like I said, run your bag up, add on to that 20 you got, and do it yourself. Why you? Hey, man, my mama always told me, God bless the child that got his own. So take that information, take that little phrase, put that in your back pocket. God bless the child that's got his own. Take the money that you got, add the difference to it, and you set to go. You set to go. I'm glad you listened though. Oh, you got your CL. Yeah, go drive a truck. Man, whether you want to do local or over the road, run your bag up. Run your bag up for another 6 months, shit, maybe a year. Stuck it out for a year. Go ahead and get out there. What's April? Let's say you get out there by May, beginning of May. Run from May to May. Run you up 100 real quick. Stay on the road. Run you up a buck, and then reevaluate the situation this time next year. Because here's the thing: if you get out there, you got your CDL, you get out there, whether you local or you OTR, and you reevaluate it, you may determine that you might not want to even do it. You may say, man, you know what? I'm comfortable with doing this. But definitely get out there, make the money to add on to what you already have, and then revisit like you said next year. I think that's a dope plan. I think that's dope. I think that's dope. So now if we can only just get 24K to listen, then we'll really be on to something. Hey, Juan, if you in here, man, is your boss? Did you ever get with your boss, Juan? Because I know you be watching in the cut. I still want to talk to your boss. And Costa's the one who told me to do this live today, and he ain't even here. He said he had some questions. How do you find people for moving first starting out, or can you do it yourself? You can't do it yourself. You're gonna need people. So I use Craigslist. The first person I ever hired, I put an ad on Craigslist. And then when I got him, me and him worked together for a full summer. And then when I wanted to expand, I started utilizing the resources of people I knew that knew people that needed to work, which was simple. There was a lot of people during that time that needed to work. That was felons that wasn't getting opportunities that needed work. So once I tapped into that pool, it was, man, it just opened up the flood. Like, you bring in one person, that one person knew 5 other people that needed work. You bring in 2 or 3 of them people, they each knew 2 or 3 people that needed work. It's just and that's just how I went from that point on. I rarely had to run ads. Rarely. So, man, I didn't run one off. One is money. One, he want me to hold his boss accountable, but he's scared that I may say something to piss his boss off. One didn't run off. I think one is solid, but one, just like I said last night, that they stick together. Like, he genuinely, I think, wants to see his boss win. Now, I don't know if it's because he has like some type of underlying motive behind it, because maybe he was promised something, or maybe, he sees an end some type of way, so he wants to help guarantee his boss's success. But, at the end of the day, he shouldn't be, his boss shouldn't be in his pockets like that. His boss shouldn't be in his pockets like that. He's working for a company. I've never worked for a company that I had to invest money into the company to get the job done. Like, if you're going to do that, you might as well do it for yourself. So, it is what it is. But, I don't, One is probably, I've seen one probably the most out of all, since I've been doing that calling show. I've seen one probably 5 or 6 times. And each time he come up, man, can you talk to my boss, man? So, he knows his boss isn't business inclined. right? To the level that he should be for the operation that he has going on. So he wants to pair him up with someone who can give him some type of value. Uh, but that's up to his boss to go out and consume and seek that knowledge. If he don't want to consume and seek it, one got to understand that it's going to have to come a time where he just going to have to let go and move on. Because if you the hard worker and you sacrificing your pay to invest into this guy's dream, then invest that shit into yourself. Invest it into yourself. But yeah, Brian, that's how you find people. You utilize something like, I hate to say Craigslist now because it's sketchy, man. Craigslist has always been sketchy, but it's more sketchier now than it was back then. But you can utilize Craigslist, and also just word of mouth. If you know somebody who needs work, man, talk to them, see if you can bring them on, see if they're a good fit, and just put the word out there. But yeah, try Craigslist, try the classifieds in the moving and gig section. Just put an ad up looking for a moving helper with experience, and just go through the applicants, one by one, and find the best fit for you. Night all, I have a load that's going to River Grove in the morning. Oh, so you got a load? Congratulations. That's good. All right, man. I appreciate everybody. I am going to go decide if I want to step out tonight. So I appreciate everybody. I will see y'all mañana or whatever that means next time. Peace.